Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another 31 days of cut files with you guys, or with MK and Janet and you guys. Yay! So today is day 9, and I am finishing off the last of the celebratory cut files, which this is the awesome double banner that Janet Fritz has created. I am going to be using my son's graduation announcement along with the 3 pictures that he picked out to send in the invitation. And then I have my cut file right here. I absolutely love this cut file, you guys. It was my favorite when Janet's like, is this okay? For me, yes, because it has stars. I'm going to be backing it with this wisteria cardstock from Close to My Heart. I also pulled out these charcoal acetate leaves from 49 and Market. However, I'm not going to include them on my layout. I actually really struggled with this layout because of how simplistic it turned out. But in the end, after letting it sit on my desk for approximately 3 days, I was happy with how simple it actually was. So anyways, I've got some pretty little studio frames that I cut out of a pattern paper that I had. And then, another frame that got missed, and then a Spectrum Gardenia frame from 49 and Market. I have this little strip. Now, all of these pieces are actually from 49 and Market, Spectrum Gardenia. And I put this little kit together when I made my oldest daughter's graduation pictures. So I have ripped pieces that were left over. I have half sheets that were left over, 3/4 sheets, all that stuff. And they are all from the Spectrum Gardenia. Now, I kept telling myself that I should have purchased a little bit more of these purple sheets, like one-offs, because not only do I have my oldest son's graduation to go through right now, but I have 3 more coming up. And that's only if I do my children. I also have their cousins, and they're all the same color because they are all from the same school. I don't know if another purple kit is going to come in and be able to replace this, but these purples are absolutely perfect for my kids' graduation. I absolutely love it. Okay, I only have a couple branding strips, so this one here is left over from the color wheel, but I like the stripes. I actually bought several sheets of the black and white. I just didn't foresee needing to buy the purple. I just really didn't. There was 7 years difference between my daughter's graduation and my first son's graduation. And so it just never clicked on me that once he starts graduating, then it's going to be a trickle effect and they all graduate one year after another, after another, after another. And I just am not going to have enough purple all the way around, but I have several black. I bought several of these black sheets here with the pinwheel, and then several of the black striped sheet. And then I think I also have the black solid. And even the white solid, I really loved the white solid as well, or maybe it's a gray. I'm not really sure. But I did buy the black and white because that goes with every color in the color wheel, right? So I just didn't think ahead to get more of the purple. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut off the branding strip. And then from this purple that is ripped out, I'm thinking of putting that where it matches, like the grid matches on it. So it looks like it's going from black into purple. I really do like the end effect, even though it is very, very subtle. I do end up liking it the way that it works. But at first I thought I was going to cut this in half and spread it across a 2-page layout. Well, then I thought, nope, let me see what else I have. I really wanted to use this whole stripe piece and then have that purple up at the top. So then that way I could have the purple banner falling down from the purple into the black stripe. So that was kind of my idea at first. But here I'm sharing, like, this is, the purple's so heavy. I thought I was going to have the purple at the bottom. And then the more I thought about it, it's like, oh, well, then that doesn't make sense because I'm going to have a purple banner and it's going to fall down into a purple spot. No, I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I measured my stripes and I cut the purple a 1/2 inch larger. So that way I had, well, they call it a tooth. In the maintenance world, they call it a tooth to grip onto. So that way I have a space for my tape to actually hold onto and create a lip for me when I make a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And then Because I spent the last 3 days backing cut files, I went ahead and I skipped forward. This one was pretty simplistic. I backed it all the same. I didn't change the colors of the banners or anything, but I am going to use these uber old acrylic stars. These were my very first stars that I created for the shop. I need to create some more, but honestly, this is what I have. I actually think I have acrylic to do this, so maybe I'll bring these stars back. But you get the insides as well as the outsides, and yeah, I decided to outline my stars on my banner with this acrylic stars, and I cannot tell you guys how much I am in love with this. Now, they don't match up perfectly, which is fine. They actually look like they're a little sketchy. And I didn't have enough large stars, so I had to put a smaller star on one of the large stars. But again, it looks awesome. I just cannot get over how this banner looks and the simplicity that makes it adorable. I don't know what the other word would be, but I'm not sure. I also have a little stripe that is left over from a branding strip. I did not cut that stripe off of my striped paper. It is left over from a branding strip. And I wanted to bring the stripes into the other page so that way it's a companion page more than it is a matchy page, right? Where everything goes all the way across and looks like it's a cohesive page. They're more like companion pages, even though it does end up looking like a pretty cool double pager, in my opinion. I love keeping the what are they called now? The announcements. I absolutely love keeping those because they're one-offs. They change every year. The style changes, the class motto changes, and I thought that this would be really cool to end my son's album. So I keep 2 albums for my children. They each have 2 albums. One is from birth to 18, and then the other one is whatever they share with me throughout their life after they've moved on, right? Or moved on, after they've moved out. So like my daughter, she shared when she was in band for her college. She shared going out to eat. She shared her first meal that she cooked on her own using her own kitchen. So she's shared a whole bunch of stuff, but it's just not every day. And so I thought, well, that one album is absolutely perfect for them to have, being that I know I probably won't get a whole lot of pictures going forward, but sometimes she shares a million photos a year, and then sometimes I only get 1 or 2, or I have to go pilfer off of Instagram or Facebook, for her to share and whatnot. And so I thought that these pages here would be the perfect ending for my son's album, because he turned 18 shortly after he graduated. So about a month and a half after he graduated, he turned 18. So it will be the end. I think I do have one picture to share with him before it's actually 18. And that'll be a good end. Like this is the beginning of a new set of days for him type of picture. And it's just perfect to end off the album that way. So anyways, yes. And then whatever he shares with me after that will go in the new album that I have for him. He then that way he only has the 2 albums to take with him if he doesn't want any of the other pictures or layouts that I create, just for YouTube purposes, and so I can get crafty. That's really the only reasons why I create, you guys, is because I love being crafty, and I love this hobby. I really truly do, and B, it's a great outlet for me, and I just really don't. Those types of albums, like all my cruise albums, they're just fun projects for me to create. I really am not going to be heartbroken if my kids are like, well, I don't want that because I wasn't there. Totally understandable. I get it. It was just a fun project that I ended up wanting to do for myself, right? All right. So here I'm making a 12 by 12 paper, just using that purple paper and the striped paper. And again, I left a 1/2 inch strip so that way I knew I had enough to adhere the 2 papers to. Normally, I would, depending on how big my pieces are, these ones were quite big and I had lots of options and room to choose from. But normally I would either pull out another piece of cardstock, either one that I don't mind covering the whole thing up, or I would washi tape the two pieces together. Depending on how big all the pieces are. So it's two different options that I have based off of what I need. So if I had exactly 4 inches and 8 inches, I would washi the two pieces together because I knew that they would be held together or held straight with the page that's going behind them, if that makes sense, in my album, right? In the page protector. For the other purposes is if there's not enough and I have a gap and now I have to get another piece of cardstock to fill that gap and then probably washi tape or this ribbon or the banner or you know what I mean. So just filling in that gap, and then that's where I would use another piece of cardstock. But luckily with this 49 and Market paper, it's actually quite thick enough to where I don't have to worry about having an extra piece of cardstock to back them. So they make a great page all by themselves, and I didn't need to use another 12 by 12. Okay, so here I am just playing along. I'm just trying to treat them as if they're two separate pages. I've got my one layout already done with the announcement and his graduation cap and gown, all the good things. We chose it in black and white because his caps and gowns were actually purple, but in the pictures, they're black. So we chose a black and white picture for that one. So that way we didn't have to sit there and go, well, the pictures were black, but really they were all in purple. But years before, like for my Cora's, my oldest daughter's graduation, the girls wore purple and the boys wore black. And now they're starting to make it to where they're all the same color. I'm assuming because of today's society, right? And wanting everybody to be uniform is what I am assuming in life. And then, of course, I've got this little saying. It came from a little film strip. Nope, not film strip, but a frame that I got in my advent calendar for last year. And it's just a cool saying that says, keep moving forward type of thing. Something like that. I can't really remember. And then I've got this cool little card that says class of 2025 with his name on it, which it comes in the invitation. So I'm not really sure with the pictures and everything, what's up with the cards. Like, I don't really know the formality of it. And all that stuff. I also took the tissue tape that had the little cap on it. It has the cap and tassel on it. And I put it inside of the purple frame. It's very, very invisible. It's not as dark as I would have liked it to be. But on the black, inside the invitation, it actually stood out quite a bit. But where I have it on my layout, it doesn't really show up. And of course, now I'm putting a dimensional star behind it. So now it's popped up even more. But in person, you can really see that there's a cap and gown on the little vellum piece. You just have to kind of look for it. I am using adhesive on my stars because they're double-sided. Now what that means is it's not that slick acrylic that we are used to. These are actually, they have the design that has a slight texture. It's a very tiny texture, and so it holds the glue really well. And that's how I adhered all of my stars, except for the solid stars. I just ended up using a glue dot. But for the open stars, I used my adhesive, and they stick really, really well because they have that backer on them. If they were the shiny side, just the solid white on the back, and it was slick, it probably would have just popped right off because the glue didn't have anything to adhere it to, right? It didn't have that grip or tooth to it. Okay, so here's where I love, you guys, I love that little addition of the purple around my burst. I don't know why, but it just makes me smile. It's just one of those impactful interests that gets to me. All right, so here are my final photos. I did white them out just a little bit so they were a little brighter and you could probably see more detail on them. But yeah, the black really turned gray, to be honest. But like I said, I kept these on my desk for 3 days and thought, is it too simple? Or is it okay? And I love them. I really do. Sometimes you don't have to go all out. And make every page a work of art. I just love these, you guys. All right, don't forget to check out the link that I have down below for 31 days of cut files, and check out all of the other YouTubers that are playing along with us once or twice or all month long. It's pretty awesome. And also, too, don't forget to check out Janet Fritz's channel, who is my partner in crime for 31 days of cut files. I appreciate everything about her and love that she is doing this with me. And thanks again for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it when you come and hang out with me every day. I absolutely love it. And yeah, I will check you guys all later. Bye.